earning 400,000 yuan can't compete with 24-year-olds. 23 single women fight for one man but left to rot. In Beijing, 23 single women now compete for every one eligible man. 2.23 million women are still unmarried in China's capital alone. The men? Even if they are 35 or divorced, they are hot commodities. But for women, once they hit 30, no amount of beauty or success can shield them from being labeled leftover. This is the brutal math of China's modern dating crisis. Shocking, yes, but it's real. I don't understand. If we're both in our 30s, why am I considered old and you're not? We're the same age. If I'm leftover, aren't you leftover too? According to the China Statistical Yearbook 2024, the number of unmarried women of marriageable age has surpassed 1 million in several major cities. Leading the list is Beijing, with 2.23 million so-called leftover women, followed by Shanghai with 2.09 million. All top-ranking cities are first-tier urban centers. A 2024 survey by the Southwest Lilly Data Center paints a stark picture of dating inequality. In Beijing, the male-to-female ratio in the dating market is a staggering 1:23, meaning 23 women are competing for every one man. Why is Beijing called the capital of leftover women? Now, 60% of the women in the dating scene here are over 30. A Beijing woman recently told me she visits the matchmaking corner at Zhongshan Park every weekend, yet never finds anyone. I asked if her standards were too high. She replied, "Not at all. I just want a man who's alive and doesn't mind my age. What more can I ask for?" Turns out she's 37, a partner at an advertising firm. She owns a home and a car, and earns about 400,000 yuan a year. When she was younger, she set high expectations. A man with a 985 university degree, a house in central Beijing, and a salary of at least 600,000 yuan. But after 2 years of dating, she realized the men who met those criteria were already married. And the few single high achievers weren't interested in her career or income. They wanted youth, beauty, and emotional value. Even after lowering her standards to accept men with homes in their hometowns, her age became a barrier. She told me her biggest regret is missing the best window for marriage. Now, no matter how good her conditions are, she still gets judged. I was born in 1983, and this is my 16th year living in Beijing. I'm 40, unmarried, and childless. In the dating market, 40 feels awkward. I don't think I'm old. I still want love, but others are already dismissing me. Maybe I'll never find someone to marry. Yesterday, I talked about this with a friend. She asked if I felt sad being judged for my age. No, not at all. If I never get married, what's the big deal? I'm living a happy, fulfilling life alone. If the life God wrote for me means I'll die single, then so be it. I'll still live well. I have 2 cars and 2 homes in Beijing. No loans, no children to raise. I sleep in when I want. I don't carry the burden of a family. I'm not afraid of being alone. If I get sick, I'll treat it. If I can't, I'll die. Even female teachers born in the 1980s and 2000s are getting rejected now. I'm honestly surprised. Why are female teachers in Beijing so unpopular? What kind of teachers are we talking about? Unmarried, divorced, university professors, middle school teachers, kindergarten teachers, women who are elegant, financially stable, and well-educated. But when I mention that someone's a teacher, many men instantly lose interest. I really don't understand. I'm what you'd call an older woman, born in the 2nd ring road, now living past the 5th ring. I have a car, a house, and a stable job. If it weren't for work, I probably wouldn't see sunlight before noon. I haven't touched the kitchen in 3 days. I probably see the delivery guy more than anyone else. My biggest motivation to wake up is making money. I spend what I earn, I buy what I want, I go where I please. No one controls me. I take care of my parents and myself. No mortgage, no car loan. My parents are healthy. Life sounds comfortable. But the loneliness? That's something only I know. They say there are so many leftover women in Beijing. Because our standards are too high and no one wants us. Do you think that's true? The truth is, Beijing women would rather stay single than settle. We're not waiting to inherit an empire. Our families are open-minded. Filial piety doesn't require children. Whether we stay single or not, it's our choice. And by the way, we don't even ask for a dowry. That's better than many other places, right? Some say they don't want dowries either. But the moment you ask for a house, they back out. So let me say this, girls who want a house and a dowry are considered good girls, while those of us who want neither are called gold diggers. The people who say that? They're just insecure. People say Beijing girls only marry locals. It's not that we look down on outsiders. We're just afraid that if something goes wrong far from home, we'll have no one to turn to. In the end, we don't have high standards. Just be kind to your parents and love us sincerely. No matter where you're from, even if you have nothing, we'll stand by you. I hope someone will ride a white horse, appear through the clouds, and say to me, "I've finally come to take you home. You're the love of my life." In a country racing forward, millions of women are left waiting, not for love, but for a society that sees their worth beyond age, labels, or deadlines. The question now is, will the system catch up before more stories are written in silence? Her ex begged to return, then fled when he heard about her death, a bitter truth about a woman's value after marriage. She was admired while married, flirted with, pursued, desired. But the moment she became a divorced single mother, she was abandoned, used, left with a child, and faced with cold reality. Men wanted her when she was unavailable. No one stayed when she was free. This is not just her story. It's a harsh truth many women are waking up to. Why are we seeing a rising number of single mothers today? Don't assume it's because women are becoming more open-minded or that their husbands are all at fault. The truth is much more heartbreaking. Let me tell you a story that reveals the hidden reality. I knew a woman, beautiful, confident, and in great shape. She divorced her husband, a man who, while unremarkable in looks and income, was decent enough. Why did she leave him so easily? Because long before the divorce, countless men had shown interest in her. They flirted, they chased, giving her the illusion that she would be highly sought after if she became single. So, for a relatively minor issue, she divorced him, believing that she would be the star of the dating market. But she couldn't bear to leave her child behind, so she took the child with her. What happened next? Reality hit hard. Those men who once admired her never planned to commit. They didn't want a life partner, they wanted one night. Again and again, she got hurt, used and left alone, now also a single mother. Overwhelmed, she began leaving the child with her elderly parents. But even they couldn't help indefinitely. After all, her brother's family had children too. The painful question is, why are married women chased, yet divorced mothers left behind? The answer is harsh but simple. Think of it like a car analogy. Some people are happy to catch a ride for $2, but no one wants to buy a second-hand car that's already been driven and still has someone else's bumper sticker on it. When you're married, some men see you as a free meal, someone supported by a husband, so all they have to do is sweet-talk you for affection. To them, the affair is cleaner than being with a single, independent woman. But if you divorce, suddenly they question everything. If you cheated on your ex, who's to say you won't cheat on me? A divorced woman becomes an ownerless vehicle, free for test drives, but no one wants to buy. They're scared. Was this car ever in a major accident? Does the ex still have a spare key? The tragedy is, these women are judged not just for their past, but for their perceived baggage. The same men who once praised them now run from them, fearing responsibility, fearing debt, fearing commitment. And worst of all, some of these women are still expected to believe in fairy tales, where a rich, loving man appears to rescue them and raise their children as his own. But let's face it, that's the stuff of clickbait romance dramas. Before marriage, a few may flirt with you. During marriage, that number doubles. After divorce? Sure, men may swarm, but none will stay. Almost zero will dare to marry you openly. Wake up, sisters. The truth may be brutal, but it's better than being broken. What happens when love is overshadowed by financial burden? This candid conversation between a divorced couple lays bare the collision between regret, responsibility, and cold economic reality. Oh, we divorced 2 years ago. I didn't expect you to be doing so well. This house looks pretty big. It's 160 square meters, 4 bedrooms, and nicely decorated. 4 bedrooms. How much did it cost? 1.8 million for decoration and 180 for buying a house back home. Then? Let's remarry. Really, life's been hard for me. You raised the kids alone, and I was kicked out by my younger brother after using our savings to buy his wedding house. I've always missed you and the children. Now that you've got this big house, I can clean, help out. Being together is real happiness. Remarrying is possible, but I have to warn you, life isn't as good as it looks. Can you accept living a hard life? Hard, you have a house, a car, and savings. Looks like life's good. That's just appearances. I'm actually millions in debt. Then I'll work hard with you, be your good wife, support you. If you're serious, then come back and work with me. I owe 3 million. I'm planning to sell the house to pay it off. Sell the house? Then what? We'll rent, start over. Maybe in 50 or 60 years, we can pay off the rest. You really owe that much? Yes. So maybe we shouldn't remarry just yet. I can't sleep knowing I owe people money. Can't we sell the house and handle it together? Even selling it won't cover everything, and honestly, we're not suitable. You're conservative, I'm daring, we clashed before, and we'd clash again. So you changed your mind just because of the debt? No, you did. As soon as you heard about the debt, everything became a problem. I won't drag you down, and I won't jump into a fire pit either. But you agreed just now. I didn't know you were millions in debt. Stay or go. Up to you. Bye. Millions of women are raising children alone, not because they failed, but because they believed in a future that never came. Society applauds independence until it becomes inconvenient. In the end, these women don't just carry children. They carry the weight of stigma, sacrifice, and silence. Who will stand with them when the crowd walks away? Millions are fleeing. Workers barely survive. Elderly can't retire. What you see in Shanghai will shock to the core. People are fleeing Shanghai in silence now. Entire families crammed in 10-square-meter attics. Elderly workers, some as old as 90, were forced to assemble thousands of pens for just $4 a day. Over 5 million residents are gone. But the real shock? It's what we found behind the closed doors, in the alleys, and in the words of those still holding on. What's really happening in China's most iconic city? In recent months, many of my friends who once came to Shanghai full of ambition have quietly left. We arrived in this city together over a decade ago, full of hope and confidence, believing we could build a future here. But the golden days are gone. The past 2 years have grown increasingly difficult. This is Shanghai, a city once hailed as China's most prosperous metropolis. But behind the glittering skyline, life for ordinary people is anything but easy. Shanghai, once the pinnacle of China's first-tier cities, is now facing economic stagnation. As the national economy weakens, Shanghai has not been spared. Honestly, I feel like Shanghai's economy this year is worse than that of third-tier cities. Is this really the most prosperous area in Shanghai? It looks no different from a rundown town. So many shops are shuttered. Are they being demolished? Or is the rent just too high to survive here? Look around. Zhejiang Middle Road, once a bustling area, is now full of for rent and for sale signs. This is the Bund? Feels more like the countryside. Once a magnet for ambitious workers across China, Shanghai is now seeing an exodus. Why is Shanghai experiencing such a dramatic population loss? Since last year, the decline has been visible. The latest census shows that Shanghai's permanent population is 24.86 million, down from a peak of over 30 million. That's a loss of at least 5 million people. People are fleeing Shanghai, no doubt about it. As someone working in logistics, I see it firsthand. Just today, I shipped out 6 electric scooters. That's not even the busiest day. Sometimes it's a dozen. One more is going to Pudong tonight. That's 7 scooters, all leaving the city. The economic outlook is bleak. The decline in Shanghai's migrant population is stark. A man shared his experience. What's left in Shanghai worth staying for? The rent keeps rising. I haven't had a proper break in years. My family of 4 lives, cramped in a tiny attic, barely 10 square meters. And yet, my wife refuses to leave. But the struggle isn't limited to Shanghai. Finding stable work in any city has become increasingly difficult. Brother, how old are you this year? I was born in 1991, the year of the sheep. I'm 34. How many children do you have? I'm not married yet. Which village doesn't have 8 or 10 bachelors? You're this old and still single. Isn't your family worried? Of course they are. I'm an only child. Any hobbies? Can't even find a wife. What hobbies would I have? China's economy is approaching a breaking point. Layoffs are widespread. White-collar workers are losing jobs. Factories are shutting down. Many have turned to street vending to survive. On June 28, 2025, popular blogger Truman Village Man posted a video from Hangzhou, Zhejiang Province. In the alleyways of Hekun Township, small workshops are quietly assembling ballpoint pens, run mostly by elderly workers. How old are you this year? 90 years old and still working every day. This is the Zhejiang spirit. Work until the end. How much can she earn a day? About 30 yuan. How many pens does that take? Over 1,000. The sight of 80 and 90-year-olds still laboring sparked outrage online. It's heartbreaking, one netizen wrote. Elderly people should be enjoying retirement, not struggling to survive. Local residents chimed in. In rural Zhejiang, many seniors are doing the same thing. Handicrafts for 30 yuan a day. What other province can beat that? Critics went further. This is systemic exploitation. Even factory owners aren't making money. Chinese goods can't compete globally, so we rely on cheap labor while taxes are crushing us. Another wrote, there's no such thing as an 8-hour workday in China. Most shifts last 10 to 12 hours. 8 hours is the legal standard, not the reality. This is naked slavery. So much for the superiority of socialism. What we're witnessing is not just an economic downturn. It's a quiet unraveling of the social fabric, where hope grows thinner and survival becomes the new success. And as millions turn away from the cities they once ran toward, one question lingers. What kind of future are we really walking into? If even the strongest are now walking away,